Democrats are now mocking the Republicans for their impeachment threats. We know that the Biden crime family is being exposed day by day. More evidence from IRS whistleblowers, people like Gal Luft, and the Oversight Committee is digging away. Now that Hunter Biden has entered a not guilty plea, and we're going to presumably see that case evolve, maybe even get some discovery on that one, Republicans are talking about impeachment. Kevin McCarthy has been hinting about this. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been on the House floor talking about the same. But are they going to do it? Democrats seem to be scoffing at him, but here is Kev.
People of America have a right to know what went on. You have a president who lied to the American public so they didn't get any money from China. We know that's true. We've had whistleblowers from the IRS come say the Biden family was treated differently and that other things were going on. And then you have a informant with the FBI saying there was a bribe. We need to know the answer to this. And as we get more information going forward, if at any time I feel as though we're not able to get all the information we need, we'll have to rise to the level of impeachment inquiry.
Impeachment inquiry, something that will give them more tools to go get additional documents and data. And we talk a lot about here how difficult it is to gobble this stuff up. Congress sends letter after letter after letter to the FBI. And the FBI, Christopher Wray, I'm pretty sure he just takes those into the bathroom with him and disposes of them accordingly. But we'll see if they do anything about it. Is it good political strategy? Well, a former Trump official, somebody we've played here before named Alyssa Farah Griffin, who I think is cashing big fat ABC checks now on The View. Here's what she posted. This is a wild post today. Says Joe Biden should not be impeached. Used to work with Trump in the Trump administration. Now on The View. Says one can strongly disagree with his policies while also recognizing lowering the bar for impeachment of POTUS, would be irrevocably damaging to our institutions. This will set the stage for every future POTUS to be dragged through a show impeachment. Who is this woman? Oh my gosh. So I don't know what happens. I think when you go on The View, your brain's turned into mashed potatoes or something. This will set the stage for every future POTUS to be dragged through a show impeachment. This is a joke. Does she remember Donald Trump and the 2 impeachments that they dragged him through? So it's a bizarre thing. The Democrats are also laughing about it. Here is what the halls of Congress sounded like.
Support a impeachment inquiry looking into President Biden's possible involvement in his son Hunter's business?
No, and again, I'm running to vote, so.
We're investigating this on this committee with Hunter Biden. There's no real evidence that the president was involved.
Would you support an impeachment inquiry into President Biden's possible involvement?
Is that AOC? AOC, say hi.
I think the Republican desire to impeach someone, anyone, no matter whether there's any evidence, just shows how they have descended into chaos.
Descended into chaos from Pencil Neck Adam Schiff, saying that they just want to impeach anybody they can get their hands on. It's like, hey, you guys literally made up a fake dossier to try to disassemble Trump's campaign. You've created hoax after hoax after hoax in order to castigate your political enemies, but now he's going to say the Republicans are doing it. But is this just a big shiny object? Is this all just a bunch of talk and the Republicans not actually doing anything? This is Ken Buck. He's on the House Judiciary Committee, a representative over from Colorado. Here's what he says about McCarthy. Says it's not really that genuine.
Absolutely Congress's role to look at possible impeachment, but I also think that if that is just a political game, then we need to make sure that the criminal case goes forward.
Okay, so let's talk about impeachment. Do you think it could be a political game? And why do you believe that Speaker McCarthy in the last 24, 36 hours has begun to lean more into the notion of opening an impeachment inquiry?
Because the whistleblowers
This is impeachment theater. We right now are starting the appropriations process.
He said this is impeachment theater.
An impeachment inquiry.
This is impeachment theater. We right now are starting the appropriations process, and there is not consensus on the Republican side about what the numbers should be. Kevin McCarthy promised when he was running for Speaker one set of numbers, and then he made an agreement with President Biden for the debt ceiling increase on another set of numbers. So right now, he has got to convince the public that he's credible and that Republicans have a duty to follow him. The party itself is not in agreement, and we're going to have some real trouble passing appropriations bills.
I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. It sounds like you're saying that the Speaker is talking about impeachment to try to distract conservatives like you from spending bills that you don't like.
Well, not just me, but the public. What he's doing is he's saying there's a shiny object over here, and we're really going to focus on that. We just need to get all these things done so that we can focus on the shiny object. Most of us are concerned about spending. It is an existential threat to this country, and so we want to move move forward with the spending bills in a responsible way.
Do you believe there is any reason why the House Republican majority should open an inquiry right now other than politics?
I don't think it's responsible for us to talk about impeachment. When you start raising the I word, it sends a message to the public and it sets expectations. I do think that what's going on in the Oversight Committee and the Judiciary Committee is absolutely fair and is part of our responsibility.
That's one Republican who's not going to be on team impeachment, it seems. But here's Jim Jordan explaining why this is necessary, why it gives the Republicans more tools to investigate where this goes.
What the Speaker was saying is when you go to that phase, when you get to an inquiry phase, that gives you the ability to get more information. The courts have been clear on this, and to get it in a timely fashion instead of playing this back and forth, this dance you have to do with the Justice Department or whatever agency, the IRS, whatever agency you're dealing with. So I think that's important. Look, our job is to follow the facts, follow the evidence, and here's what we're now seeing. The story from the White House keeps changing as to what Joe Biden's knowledge or involvement was with Hunter Biden. And then the story from the Justice Department has certainly changed. But the story that's been consistent, the testimony that has not changed, has been the testimony from the whistleblowers, Mr. Shapley and Mr. Ziegler. And it's been backed up, as you know, David, by an FBI agent who was deposed by the Oversight Committee as well. So I think we just keep doing our job. And if we have to go to the impeachment inquiry phase, then the Speaker's, I think, pretty clear we're going to go there.
Well, on Monday, I believe behind closed doors, you're going to hear from the former business partner of Hunter, Devin Archer. Do you suspect that he may have a smoking gun of some kind?
I don't know, but that's one more step, one more part of our investigation. Look, we're supposed to do our duty, our constitutional duty. If, in fact, that leads to an impeachment inquiry, so be it. But let's do our job so that we can figure out what exactly happened, how that may impact the appropriations process, what we do there with money going to these various agencies, what it may mean for possible legislation. That's our job as legislators. That's our job that's our duty to the Constitution. We're going to do all that. Mr. Archer is scheduled now. He's been scheduled multiple times before, and somehow those didn't work out. So we'll see what happens next Monday. But
Devin Archer was the guy that they sent a subpoena to, and then they didn't really kind of enforce the subpoena because he said, I'll voluntarily show up. And Devin Archer was a very close associate with Hunter and Biden. But this guy literally right here, like went golfing with these guys. So he's supposed to show up in Congress. We'll see if he actually does or not.
Questions we have for him relative to things that have been in the press, at least, that say Joe Biden may have been more involved than he's indicated.
By the
over
way,
the last couple of
there's
years.
also questions about his own credibility. How certain are you of his credibility? Because he has, as I believe, he's either been convicted or he pleaded to crimes before.
So he has, and there was a bond scam where he was basically, like $60 million was misappropriated and stolen, in other words. And so he had a plea deal that I think he entered in on that. And there's questions now, is Joe Biden going to pardon him or something before he testifies, or is he going to, hopefully show up?
Yeah, I mean, look, the two people whose credibility seems unimpeachable right now are Gary Shapley and Mr. Ziegler. Right. They were so good last week. Their story, I mean, look, they recorded things contemporaneously. They memorialized those. The email from the October 7th, 2022 meeting where Mr. Weiss, the U.S. attorney, told Mr. Shapley, Gary Shapley, and the other folks in that meeting that he didn't have full authority. He requested special counsel status, was turned down on that. And then, of course, the Justice Department says a different story. But he recorded it at the time, that very day, sends it to a colleague who was in the meeting who confirmed it. So, again, I think their credibility has been rock solid.
Yeah, the emails confirm it from Gary Shapley to colleagues also in the meetings. They respond and say, yep, David Weiss said he didn't have final decision-making authority. And so somebody's lying. It's either Biden's administration through the Department of Justice, Merrick Garland, it's David Weiss, or it's the IRS whistleblowers. Both of them, but I doubt it. And so we'll see what the Republicans do. Kevin McCarthy certainly talking a big game. Whether they actually do anything is yet to be seen. And so, of course, we will continue to cover, my friends. Thank you for subscribing wherever it is you're watching this. We are live every day at this time, and we'd love to have you join us on the next one.